Does Boxing and Fitness here in Coolidge, Arizona with Edriech and Rosa. Now, Edriech, I've been watching you on social media. I've also been asking, or I've been hearing a lot of things about you, man, how talented of a fighter you are. So to the Arizona boxing community, man, explain like who you are, how'd you get into boxing, and like just, you know, who's Edriech Rosa, you know?
Yeah, so I started boxing. The first time I boxed was in Puerto Rico. I trained out there, and then I did a little bit of martial arts out there. Then I came back to the States in Florida. I fought in Florida out there for a while. Then I went from Florida. I trained in Colorado Springs. Then I went to New York. I was living in the Bronx for a while. I actually have a lot of experience. I have 25 fights on USA Boxing, but I did a lot of smokers in different places, so I have a lot more than what I really have. I was pretty good, you know. I always knew that I would be a boxer because everybody told me, you know, you got natural ability since the first day I started boxing. So that motivated me to train as hard as I possibly could, to get better as fast as I possibly could, so that I could have a big impact in boxing, which is my goal.
Yeah. So, like, your high school days, like, did you play any sports? Like, is that, you know?
No, I was actually a bad kid. See, I was actually a bad kid. My dad tried to get me, kind of get me to, like, chill out, you know? So he was like, all right, you want to be bad? I'll take you to the boxing gym and see if you're really bad, you know? But I ended up beating the kid up, so they were like, oh, he can come back. My dad's like, oh, you know, I ain't got the money, but they were like, we'll train you for free. And that's kind of how I got into it, you know?
Well, man, I like your honesty, man. At least you know how you were as a kid, right?
Yeah.
But it's cool that you use that to kind of get you to where you are right now, and you're becoming a pro fighter now. How many pro fights do you have?
Unofficially, I'm 5-0 with 4 knockouts, but officially, I'm 4-0 with 3 knockouts. The reason I say unofficially because I fought when the pandemic was happening in Mexico, and they didn't put it on the box strike because no one was allowed to fight technically. So that never went on there, but officially I'm 4-0 with 3 knockouts. And as an amateur, I was 25-1, and I lost that one fight when I was like 17. And then I went on a good undefeated streak for a while, and then just decided, hey man, you know, I'm pretty good at this, so I'm gonna turn pro. Got with Randy, the Randy Robles, you know, he's trained with Salvador Sanchez, 400 amateur fights. He's a great guy. He's like my dad. He's like a second father to me. And yeah, just hard work. That's really what I believe in. You know, I'm not a guy that has MMA and doesn't train, or a guy coming just to half-ass it, you know, excuse my language, you know, just to half do it, half in, half out, you know. I've always been all in or all out, and so far I've always been all in, you know. I've had a few setbacks. That's why my age to my record is not where it should be, but it's not from a lack of trying, you know. It's from, you know, life, God, you know, mainly.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about that, man, because I was talking to actually Ramon. He's the one that told me Hedges. He said, man, you got hit by a car. So how are you, like, health-wise, man? Like, you know, how do you feel, you know? How scary was that to get hit by a car, too?
Yeah, it was crazy, you know. I got a great opportunity to fight for the Arizona State title against an undefeated guy, you know. I knew I could take him out. He has fights in Mexico, never fought anybody with a winning record, you know. And my last fight, the guy I fought in my last fight fought Floyd Diaz and gave him a good fight. And I went and I beat him too. Just like Floyd Diaz, in the same fashion. Floyd Diaz, everybody knows he's got a lot of amateur experience, and he's a good pro. So, and I moved up in weight, and I took the fight with 1 day's notice, and he moved down in weight in 1 day's notice. So, and I schooled him too. So, I know I've always had, I know I can beat anybody I put my mind into, and I got the opportunity to fight him, you know, and then I was on a run, stopped, washed my car, and some kids that just made the wrong decisions, driving not really a car, it was a truck, and they just hit me at 60, you know, and I got pinned against the wall. My leg was crushed, but honestly, it's all God, you know. Stuff happens that can be repairable, and this is one of those situations. You know, I was hit by the car, but nothing broke. As long as nothing broke, you know, anything can be healed up. I'm not 100%, you know, but with my skill set, my abilities, I spar 8, 9, 10 rounds in there. You know, I'm in here every day. I train people in the mornings. After that, I train myself, go home, eat, come back, train for 4 or 5 hours, leave, redo it again. You know, I really have no life. Boxing is my life. I'm 100%. Like I said, you know, there was a lot of pain that went through my body when I got hit by it. And I guarantee you no one can put that type of pain in me in the ring the way that truck hit my leg. So nothing really, I'm not really scared to get in the ring, you know, like, what are you gonna do? Hit me like that truck hit me? Nah, you know, it's just gonna be another fight, you know, so.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
No, man, I like it, man, and it's very inspiring for you to say, man. So I know when I heard that, I was like, man, how bad was it? And it was really bad, man. Hitting you at 60, getting pinned to the wall, man.
Yeah.
It's a miracle that you're alive. It's a miracle that you're even still boxing, man.
Yeah.
So, now, go ahead.
I feel like, you know, God does everything for a reason, right? Whether it was I moved too much and I need to sit down more, and that's why he did it. Even the smallest thing, you know, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, God has a purpose for us all. And I feel confident. I feel very confident that I'm fulfilling my destiny as a fighter. This is all I was bred for. This is all I was made for. I come from a long line. You know, Puerto Ricans, we've, for per square inch, we have more world champions than anywhere else in the world, you know. We hold titles. We had the first heavyweight champion, Latino heavyweight champion, you know, so at the end of the day, man, I'm bred for this, you know what I'm saying? Purebred.
Well, Edriech, man, you know, first off, your story is just amazing. I wish you nothing but the best, especially coming up to Del Sol event. I appreciate you wanting to put your shirt on.
Get y'all merch.
Man. Yeah, man, I appreciate that, man. Like, you didn't have to wear it for the interview, but, man, it's awesome, and thank you for putting it on for the interview.
I appreciate your time.
Yeah, so, do you know who you're fighting in the Del Sol card? Do you know anything about him?
No, I don't. Del Sol, honestly, is one of the best and most humble promotional companies that there is out there. Honestly, they really invest in their fighters that they believe in, you know. I mean, of course, there's always fighters that are half in and half out, and those fighters, honestly, they ruin the sport. You know what I'm saying? They're bad for the sport. You know, we need those fighters that are all in and want to fight and want to make the big fights happen. And Del Sol, they really push for that, you know. I don't exactly know who I'm fighting, but I never do, you know. I let Randy deal with that, you know. Randy knows my abilities. I sparred thousands and thousands of rounds with him watching me, so he knows what I can do and what I can't do. And it doesn't matter who they put in front of me, you know. Of course, I feel like because I'm coming off an injury, it's probably not gonna be the best guy, you know. But I have a hit list, and I've already and there's local fighters on that hit list that I'm ready to fight. You know, once this leg's 100%. Like I said, it's not 100% now, but it will be. You know.
Well, Edriech, man, I'm excited to see you fight, man, and I hope your opponent, man, like, isn't too afraid of you, because you know that happens a lot. You know,
yeah, I mean,
I've
actually had opponents straight up say they weren't gonna fight me. You know, once they found out my abilities. You know, I've trained with you know. A lot of great trainers, because my father, he moved a lot because of his job, so I was going to a lot of different gyms all over the country. I trained with Aaron Superman Davis in the Bronx, you know, a lot of great fighters I got, you know. I mean, New York is the mecca of boxing. I was out there really doing it, you know. I was out there really competing in Brooklyn, Harlem, all that, you know what I'm saying. I was out there in Willis Ave before I went to Morris Park. You know, I'm very experienced, and I'm ready to show the world what I really can do, you know, and what Puerto Ricans, and I want to represent my people. As a Puerto Rican, I want to represent everybody, you know.
Well, Edriech, man, like I said, I'm excited to see you play, man. You got me hyped up. You got me as a fan. So, man, I can't wait till that Del Sol card, man, because I know Joseph Rivas is fighting. You're fighting there. Danny Barrios, man. A lot of fighters, man, that I haven't seen fight are fighting there, so I'm excited for that card. Now, first off, thank you for giving me your time. Thank you for wearing the shirt in the interview. I'll be coming here a couple of times during the month, asking you questions, man. Asking your opinion about what's going on in the boxing world. So I appreciate you giving me your time, man, and thank you for this interview.
For sure, and I love to talk about boxing, man. Boxing is I feel like as a fighter, you gotta know the sport ins and outs, from the Danny Little Red Lopez's to the Finito Lopez's to the Team Trinidad, you know what I'm saying, Cotto's, all of them. You can, you know, Willie Pep, all of those guys. You know, you have to study the sport. There's a reason why those guys were at that level. And a lot of these young fighters, I'll tell you right now, they don't do their homework, you know. And if you really want to get good, especially because I train people, you know, so I like to talk a lot about boxing. I like to tell them about boxing, watch boxing, you know. That's the only way you get good. You learn from the guys that did it at the highest level, you know. Everybody can learn, you know, no matter how good you are. Even Muhammad Ali, I'm sure he had a coach that he would listen to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody's got somebody that they can listen to, you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate your time, and yeah, man, I'm excited to fight February 18th, De La Soul Promotions. You don't want to miss it. I'll be there, or be square.
There you go. I'm here with Edriech Kid Flash Rosa
Yes,
at the Robles Boxing Gym in Coolidge, Arizona, and thank you for sending me, man.